This is West S. And if I do this right, no, wrong way. There's Just 8 or the 80 on near, and then this somewhere below us, down in the basement down there, there's Rob Painless. We're going to educate all of you people on all the important things you need to know not to die in the apocalypse, because we're apocalypse specialists. Like me and Rob personally lived through the extinction of the dinosaurs. It was our job to dig holes and bury those guys. That's why they're so hard to find. Rob still got the same backup. And I can't remember what age job was because he was on the other side of the ocean. So. Anyway, we're here. Hello, Rachel, who's been in here a while, and nobody said hi to you because they're mean. And hi, Lance, if you're there. Lance, you're starting to look like a little beach bum, and I'm jealous. Just so you'll know. There, I said it. We got Daniel got as my judge in here. We're going to talk bullets after a little while.
Hi, Daniel. Hi, Rachel.
Clifford, how goes is it? Tibor, John. John hadn't been around a little bit. Cody. Don't recognize that name. Brian. Sometimes Barry used toilets, I think. Yeah. Hey, it's raining in the Panhandle. That's
hey, Brian.
Not here.
What is it about is there like some kind of shield over your property that just causes it not to rain? Because I watched the radar and literally,
yeah,
it just around.
Oh yeah, every time. There's a storm headed this way right now. It's over, I don't know, between us and Muleshoe, but I almost guarantee it'll fall apart before it gets here. It'll get to about the county line and just disintegrate.
But then it'll build back up as soon as it gets past.
Yeah. By the time it gets to I-27. Don't know why.
I think there's just too much bullshit in your county.
That's possible.
See?
I had nothing to do with it.
Cow farts, man. If it weren't for all them cow farts happening up in there, you might be getting some rain. What you need to do is see if you can get that AOC to come down and take over government in your county. Yep. What you do is you need to rent her a little apartment in the back so she can run for your local government. What do you think? You don't think so, Rob? Come on, Rob.
I mean, I'm cute.
What, when we're
trying to get my ear headset on?
Oh, he didn't hear it. That was all a bunch of perfectly BS, and he didn't hear any of it. Is that what he did all of it? C103, dry fire. Okay, man. Have you ever tried plugging your phone into a charging station? Oh, well.
And by the way, hello, everybody.
Say again?
I said hello to everybody. I got my earphones in now, so I've missed about 10 seconds of something important, I'm sure.
Yes, because we were trying to convince you to let AOC move into your county and
yes,
over governance there. That way she could get rid of all the cow farts and you could get some rain.
Absolutely. Send her over.
But not for no post hole digging. You can't do that.
Right.
Not until the meteor gets here. See, have we said DMAC? Have we missed anybody in the hellos over here?
Hey, DMAC, I didn't see you sneak in.
Anyway, for those of you that haven't seen it, Rob Painless did an amazing video on how to poop in the woods or not poop in the woods.
Hey, Tibor.
Hey, Tibor. I tell you what was amazing was the sunset here tonight. It was all gorgeous red, pink, orange, beautiful colors. And I'm guessing because of all the smoke in the atmosphere between here and California. But for the last week or so, the sunrises and sunsets both have been even more spectacular than they usually are.
Hey, and y'all help me keep a watch on the basement down here? Because we might have another guest pop in. He's got to clear his schedule or something. No promises, but I don't want to leave him stuck down in the basement for 30 minutes like I did the last time.
Come on, Rachel. You know you want to shovel. It's clean. It didn't do anything bad. It was just dirt. It is going to be interesting to see if it's up there next time we go, because it's out of the way a little bit. There's every chance it won't get found.
Watch this video go viral or something, and because everybody's sure trying to find a shovel.
Do one of those geocache location things.
I actually found one of the old school sharpshooters, the ones that's actually got the short blade.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about? They used to come with a long handle.
Yep.
I found one of those at a garage sale. I bought it and I put me a long handle in it. Man, I've been working the piss out of that shovel. That's just like cool. I mean, your normal sharpshooter blades, 18 inches or so?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
This is only about 16. And it's a little heavier blade, but I'm loving the snot out of it for poking holes and stuff. I wish I could have got a longer handle for it.
I want to see where D-Mac went for a vacation.
Apparently he went someplace that had cooties.
At any place anymore. Hours.
Dirty Cougars left in Colorado. Not the part he was at. They're all living in Denver now. Sorry.
Sorry, Mac, that was funny. That was funny.
I like Rachel's comment, the glow in the dark eyes. That's a good idea. That's a great idea.
What? There's been 3 or 4 guys on a loan that's put them on their hats when they were going out there to be where the Cougars and Panthers and stuff are.
Oh yeah.
Put them on the back of their beanie hats because 90% of the time or something like that, Cougars only attack from behind. So if they can see your eyes, they won't jump. So nobody's been eaten by a cougar so far. They're all the rage in Las Vegas. I did it again.
I was waiting. I knew it had to be headed that direction.
I'm actually not in a horror. I had a killer headache a while ago, but my glasses broke, my little round ones, and you know those ones that I got that were so dark I couldn't see out of, and they sent me another set. Dude, these aren't the right prescription.
Uh-oh.
So I've got to go in and buy new glasses already.
That's a drag.
Hopefully before dove season. So I actually think they got the right and the left lens crosswise.
Turn them upside down, see if they work.
Oh yeah, that'll work considering their bifocals. Hey, that's
They look good like that.
I can trust you too, huh?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, 100%. See, I can see out of this eye, but I can't see squat out of this one. And it's weird. This is the eye that I get the eye fatigue in because it does all the work. The other one just like, I can't see nothing. I'm just going to quit. So West bullets. Oh, okay. Anyway, today's topic, we're going to go through the list.
There you go, Daniel.
Get you a cup of coffee. You and the Scotsman sit down, roll around in the grass, whatever you want to do. I don't care. Y'all are grown men. If you don't want to roll around and throw your gun down and kick it and all that other stuff, that's your business. But just sit down. We're gonna go down this list, not up this list. All right. So pooping in SHTF. Who wants to run with that? Or I think Aid wants to talk about bug out. So we're going to let the local poop specialist talk about pooping in SHTF. So there you go, Rob. Let's talk.
I guess I'm local. Yeah, it's a great subject. It has to. It's something that's got to be dealt with. You know, a long time ago. In fact, before I even got to know Wes, Happy Hair and I did a video about our outhouse, and that was where the name Happy Hair came up. Was in the comments after that video. We were out back behind my shop where our outhouse is, and I don't know, Christy said something about a snake out there, and I mentioned on the video, I said, we don't see a lot of snakes back here. Well, the weeds were 3 feet high, so Mr. Observant here pointed out, he said, dude, he said, the reason you don't see a lot of snakes is because it's covered up with weeds. He said, Happy Hair is right. Get some Roundup. And that's where it came from.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, an outhouse, it's a good thing to have. Even if it's not a full-blown set-up outhouse, you've got to have some place to poop. You can poop in your house, but you can still make your toilet flush for a while until all the septic lines. If you're in town, the sewers are going to back up. It's going to happen. But you can go for a while. But it uses up water. I mean, you're going to have to use a couple of gallons of water every time you flush. Now, there's times when that might be okay, because if it's really stormy outside, if there's bad people out there that you don't want to encounter, using your toilet might be okay. Better than that, though, will be to get set up with a bucket and some garbage bags. I think I've told the story about that 10-day raft trip we did, where the idea was to pee in the river. That's where you had to pee so that it didn't ruin the land. The landscape was kind of fragile, but you didn't poop up there. You pooped in a 5-gallon bucket, which was called a groover. And it's called a groover because there wasn't a toilet seat. You just sat on it and it left a groove in your butt. And each day, the one person was in charge of it. And you go find a spot that's either private or scenic, depending on who you are. I like scenic. And whenever you do your business, you put just a splishy splash, I mean like a teaspoon of bleach in there, and kind of seal it up to keep the flies out. And at the end of the day, you wad it down, tie it off, and you start a new bag the next day. And we carried those buckets with us. We had 6 of them, I think, 6 5-gallon buckets for a group of about 13 people. And that lasted us all 10 days. And then we get to the get out spot, and there was a particular dumpster set up just for that. But the idea is it works pretty good like that. Now, on your own place, you're going to have a hoe, you're going to get a shovel out, and you're going to do some digging, and you're going to have a place to bury that stuff, because that is the way to take care of it. Burying it, I mean, that's the historic way.
Hey, Trey.
Outhouses have always been like that. So that's what you got to think of. There's all kinds of different ways you can make it comfortable, but you got to have a place in your backyard you can bury it and keep it down strictly for sanitation and flies.
You
Aid's
can always
turn.
burn it.
So I've
You can always burn it as well.
Man, that takes a lot of fuel, though.
If you can put it, if you can hear, if you dig a hole and you do your business in it, and you can do it away, it'll dry. It's not gonna here. It doesn't decompose. It dries, and then you can throw some brush on it. And you do not want the smoke coming by your house.
I bet.
Burning human waste is not the same smell as burning a cow patty. It doesn't smell like burning grass. Y'all fill in the blank on what it does smell like.
Mm-hmm.
So, thank you, madam.
And up here, that is truly an issue. I mean, we have, if you hadn't been in this part of the world, I cannot emphasize the lack of trees or brush up here. The natural terrain we have here has grass and weeds. No trees, no brush, nothing else. So burning, for us, it's just not an option, because we're going to need anything we can burn to cook with and keep warm later.
Yeah, and you and me went through a whole lot of trouble to figure out you can cook on weeds. It's a whole lot
But
better.
good grief. Yep.
And, even elmwood, even just the elmwood was 10 times better than those weeds. And that was
for sure.
That was a good thing to do. I mean, we know.
Yeah.
But they're killing mesquites down here left and right, man. They're spraying them like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, making pasture land.
Well, the government pays for the spraying, and 4-inch mesquite tree will drink 80 barrels of water a year. That's just
That's
crazy.
true. I forgot about that. Yeah, those are the cedar trees.
So they literally pull groundwater up, and then they sweat. They sweat like you wouldn't believe. That's why you can get into a couple of good healthy mesquite trees, and it's actually cooler. Under mesquite trees are good shade trees if they're
Yep.
thick, because they're just, I mean, they're constantly spewing water out the leaves, and the breeze coming through carries the heat off, and it's actually nice and cool under there.
Yeah,
But
much
that
better.
costs the groundwater.
Yeah.
And the risk of stepping on a thorn or whatever.
So, Aid, up in your area where you live, do you have lots of trees, lots of that kind of thing?
In Lancashire, no, but going into Nottinghamshire, Derbyshire, and the Pennine areas, yeah, there's some seriously good woodland. But all around me, it's all farmland. There's plantation, pine tree plantations and stuff. That's about it, really.
Yeah, y'all don't have very many hardwoods left, do y'all? Hardwood
No,
forest?
Sherwood. We've got Sherwood. There's a big forest in Scotland, and you've got the New Forest down south. That's 14. I think that's 14,000 acres. But a lot of it's been cleared away over the centuries for farming.
Mm-hmm.
I just always just thought Sherwood was a fake place.
No, I'm from Sherwood.
Yeah.
I am actually from Sherwood. My town is, I think, it's about 40 miles away from where Robin of Locksley was born.
That's just way cooler than me.
Yeah, it is.
I was born in Lake Charles, and they just got their handed to them in a hurricane. Does that count? Oh, man. Dude, I was looking at the drone footage. My heart goes out to Lake, because it is a beautiful little town. The stuff along the river and along the lake, all that stuff. I mean, you in the drone footage, you're just like, what? It's a lake. All those busted up docks and stuff, those were cabanas. People lived at the end of those. I mean, it was a beautiful place, and it's gone. You have to have gone there and visited to know what's gone now. I mean, all people spent their retirement money moving on into those docks because it was sheltered inland. It shouldn't have had to worry about it. That hurricane come through and literally wiped. I mean, it erased their homes. So yeah, it was a pretty big deal. I don't know what the damage total is so far. But anyway, and hello, Will, who's changed his name and stuff. And cow chips will burn, but they burn slow. They more do like a smolder thing.
Yeah.
They work in a Dakota hole because it's more of a jet, what's it called? Jet stove type deal. But I've tried to just put them on a fire and burn them, and they'll burn. But you're not gonna
Same bit, Brian.
on one. Later, Brian. But the buckets you were talking about, I carry one with me every time I go anywhere. The lake, the river, road trip, because it's a bucket is a lot easier to use than the bar ditch, the end.
Yep.
And my wife and my daughter, I don't know if my wife's used it yet, but my daughter has appreciated it a couple of times. And if you've got the little cheap Dollar Tree trash bags or whatever to put in it, then the bucket stays clean. So,
You know, when we did the bug out exercise, that's what I had was a 5-gallon bucket with the bottom cut out of it.
Yeah.
And I don't think I had a toilet seat on that one. Where here we've got a bucket that I've made a toilet seat, put some like braces on it where it will stay on the bucket, not come sliding off while you're on there. But to me, that makes it a lot easier too. You can hang your butt over the edge of a tree limb or such, but there's more comfortable ways to do it.
Well, yeah, this one is actually my son gave it to me. It's I think it's something we got out of C.H. Cadell's, and it's any old bucket will do, but it's a lid. It's actually a bucket lid that snaps on the bucket loosely, so you put the trash bag on the bucket, put the lid on it, and then lift, and there's a little seat, and you sit down and do your business, and then you close the lid, and the lid actually closes tight enough to where it don't stink too bad. And if you've got a little bit of straw or something to put in there, then when my 7-day hunt or whatever, if you watch the videos, you'll see a little blue bucket in the background every once in a while. When it come time to go, I just picked my bucket up and I walked off and did my stuff. So hold on.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I wish I was smart enough to think of how to make something like that and actually market it. I think of cool stuff all the time, but that's about as far as it goes.
Yeah, there's that. And the thing you did on the video about not just pooping everywhere and not covering it up. If you're trying to hide, like if you're trying to go to your bug out location, the last thing you want to, like if there's 3 or 4 of you and y'all go, no, you're not all pooping on the same pile. So if you're having to stop 4 times a day for everybody to do their business, and you're leaving a trail of stink and visual evidence, not a real good idea.
Not. Yeah, that's a great point. I didn't even think of that.
Right now,
Clifford Dry ash is good in a can like that. Wood ashes. Horrible crumb trail. Thank you, Rachel.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to say it.
Oh, man. Come on.
Rachel.
If you were a fat German kid, would you be dropping your breadcrumbs or something else? I didn't, and no offense to fat German kids. I'm sure Gretel was very slim.
Yeah.
Come on, the witch wanted to keep them and eat them. So, have you ever read, not the ones that they publish in the U.S., but the
real deal
of the stories like that from Europe? You people are dark, Abe. You people are dark and sick and morbid. It's like, I mean, everybody's getting killed, eat, tortured. Well, you've heard those things, like Little Miss Muffet. It was bad for her. And Jack and Jill, it was a whole lot worse than falling down some hill.
Little Red Riding Hood. That's a brutal story.
Yeah.
The German translation is hideous, mate.
It's like, okay, that's messed up. And there's a new Little Red Riding Hood out there, and it's basically along that lines. I mean, people are getting their face ripped off and stuff, and you're just like, okay, this is more like the real story. But
there's a Netflix series Christy and I've been watching called Grimm. Have you seen it? Anybody seen that one yet?
I've heard of it.
It's not bad, actually. It's a little bit lame sometimes, but
doesn't it have were rats in it?
Probably, yeah. It's got all kinds of things. It's actually pretty well done. It goes into a lot of the real names and the real history of some of that stuff. But of course, it's made into a soap opera type of story kind of thing.
I confess to binge watching The Witcher back to back. Okay, I watched season 1 twice back to back.
I don't know that one.
All the way through. Superman with long blonde hair in the Middle Ages killing monsters. Excellent TV. Seriously, it's Superman from the Justice League. I was into episode 3 before I realized that was Superman. I'm like, that's who you are. So, anyway, what's Daniel's little bears? Either bear or gorilla.
Yeah, gorilla poop.
Gorilla poop. Okay, dealing with anybody have any tricks for dealing with insects in a post-civilized world? All the ones I could come up with, the folk remedy ones, are nasty, but I was hoping y'all had something better.
You know, the Karanka was, the Karanka was and the Tonka was, I think. Maybe the Comanches, I don't remember, would take wild onions and rub them on themselves to keep the bugs off, but good grief.
Yeah.
You know what?
Nations used to use soap and ash and cover the whole body in that.
That's the barbarians or whatever were always covered in gray gunk or whatever. It wasn't because they were trying to be scary. They were trying to keep them getting ate alive by the bugs. I did read that.
That's probably what I would do.
Amphibian fat, garlic, and mintweed as a salve is a natural mosquito repellent. Then by that I mean alligator fat and stuff like that. You don't smell like you're edible. So yeah, I mean, I'm surprised there were any Indians in the southern United States at all.
Yeah, because you got to believe that having all that stuff on you kind of kills the mood when you get in the mood.
Hey, Keith.
The thing that Ade brought up with the wood ash, hackberry, the hackberry tree, the ash from it, or the smoke from dry or punky hackberry will dispel mosquitoes. They don't even have to be in the smoke. Just your fire with the punk wood in it will clear a 20-yard circle. I tried it when I was down there on my hunt. I would just throw some of that punky wood on there, the hackberry wood, that big tree that had fallen down right there.
Mm-hmm.
I never had flies, mosquitoes, nothing.
How about that?
And you know, as soon as I walk away from camp, I get swarmed with the flies.
Mm-hmm.
But right there where I had the punky wood burning, I didn't have to deal with them.
How about
and
that?
my bucket was close to there.
Your what?
That bucket was close to there.
Oh, right.
Yeah, as soon as I got away from that area, the flies would come to the bucket. But now they would for some reason they were attracted to my tent. I think that might have been this sweaty, stinky guy inside the tent. I'm not 100% sure on
There's a chance.
that.
You know, honestly, I think in a deal like that, you know, again, that comes back to that whole thing about trees, which we don't have up here. For us, we haven't had a mosquito here at my house all year that I've seen. We hadn't any rain all year. Now we get an inch of rain, and mosquitoes are going to come out in force. There's been times sitting out here looking for coyotes or whatever else. I had to have a bug net over my head because the mosquitoes were ferocious. I mean, by the thousands. It's like they all try to do their thing at one time, and no amount of repellent is going to do the job. You just have, like in Alaska, when Happy Hair and I were in Alaska, I had to have. We stopped at Cabela's on the way up there. Spent more. I used to have money, so we spent some money. The smartest thing I bought was a baseball cap, Bill hat, that had a bug net rolled up in the top. And you unsnap it, and it just flows out, and some understraps that hold it over. Smartest $8 I spent the whole trip.
First time I went to Poland, I got eaten alive by bugs. We were out in the countryside. So the second time I went, the following year, before I went, I had a high diet of garlic and onions, like what Rob and Wes were saying, and it was a lot less worse.
It's fun. And that the blood type makes a difference because Happy Hair, the mosquitoes don't touch her. I mean, while we were in Alaska, I'm dressed up like a Sasquatch, and she could be out there in a bathing suit and didn't get a mosquito bite.
I think it's diet as well, because my diet's obviously a lot different from the Europeans' diet, and I think because my scent was a lot different to the mosquitoes and bugs, I attracted them more.
Yeah.
I know you don't want to be the guy that runs around eating chocolate all the time. That old bro, man. And some of it is and this sounds weird, but the better physical condition you're in, the less attractive you are to the mosquitoes.
I see. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I don't see how that can be right, because when I was living in Colorado, I was in the best shape of my life. I was running 8 miles a day, 5 to 8 miles a day, working out and doing. I was in top shape, and they still liked me just as much. I'm just that sweet.
Go back up there to the same places you were then and see how much you got now.
What are you saying, Wes?
I won't say they're not going to get you, but supposedly, because you actually put off less CO2 when you're in shape.
When you're in shape?
Yes. You better utilize your oxygen, therefore you create less. That's why fat, lazy cows like that live by your house put off more CO2 than like cows that down here by my house, which aren't fat and they're lazy, but whatever. I'm just saying that's what the freaking research said. That, but I think some of that is the better shape you're in, the less calories you use.
Maybe.
Takes,
I don't know. Because, I mean, comparatively.
5,000 calories to cut a cord of wood. I know it probably takes more than that. But it takes 5,000 calories to cut a cord of wood for a guy in average shape. But then you get a guy who's a triathlete who cuts a cord of wood, and it only takes him 3,000 calories because his body's in better shape. That's, I think the guy that just won on alone, he didn't have any extra body fat, but his butt was conditioned to doing that he lived that lifestyle. He lost weight, but he didn't lose weight nearly as fast as everybody else did because that's how he's been living for the past 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
I think he was cheating. I mean, for crying out loud, he lived in the Russian outback or whatever. He's like, I'm just going to go hang out with the Mongols. And he did. So, yes, a little jealous, except for the part where it's really cold there all the time.
That sounds pretty nice right now.
Bananas keep mosquitoes away? Then Tibor brings up the color because I so want some tiger stripe camo. I do not have any. I want some.
I like that pattern.
Got to work on that.
Well, I can get tiger stripe over here, so surely you can.
We can. It's just a matter of letting go of the money to do it.
True.
What did Daniel say that you got shaking your head over here?
That this topic was bugging him.
Oh,
yeah. You know, Daniel's a clever one.
I'm gonna need to get that one of those little spinny things that's got the 2 little balls, the little Indian thing that's a little bell, so we can give people a drum roll when we want to. There's a Sasquatch cooking over yak dung. Sounds nice. Okay, have some pole. What size, D-Mac? Anyway, moving along. What are we talking about? We're dealing with insect. Oh,
yes, Tibor. I watch Brent from time to time.
What is it?
He does a lot of camouflage stuff. He actually takes that ACU and he dyes it different colours, and it actually works quite well. And
No,
apparently the
wait.
ACU is really, really cheap at the moment because nobody wants it. All you got to do is dye it.
no,
Rachel, I don't know what the 90s tracksuits are, but I'm guessing that ain't it.
no. Those are they're cut like the sports suits the gangsters, the Russian gangsters wear, man.
No, like the parachute pants and all.
Yeah, just no, thank you.
That's what Chabs wore in the 90s.
When I was at your house, Rob, I saw some pictures of you wearing some. You should know what they look like.
Oh, I know. Wait,
I'm just messing with you.
I was going to say, I don't remember that.
Oh, sorry.
I'm not going to say there's not pictures like that out there, but I don't remember them.
All that crap was lost in the house fire. My 80s and 90s are history. None of it is provable. If there's no pictures,
Oh,
it never happened.
Boy,
Yeah,
Daniel.
camo. I want to talk camo for a little bit because the Tiger Stripe, which is actually from Vietnam, but it wasn't a government issue. You had to have no, it was not. You had to our allies there. It was their government issue, but for the U.S. troops to get it, they had to have a local tailor make their uniforms for them. But it
You
was
get
acceptable.
digital tiger stripe as well, which is quite nice. I've seen that. That's pretty good.
The French, is it the French that had they called it a lizard camo, which looks a lot like the tiger stripe, but instead of everything going like this, it kind of goes like a lizard-ish.
Yeah, it goes the other way. I've got CCE pants upstairs. I've got some Polish camouflage gear. I've got a British DPM and Desert DPM, which I kind of like.
At one point,
favorites.
there was pictures of G-strings. They don't exist anymore.
Thank God.
Somebody, I used to be a working guy, but hey, actually, I used to be a guy that drank too much tequila. That's a story. Yeah, it was not U.S. issue, but it's probably one of the most effective jungle or woodland camos I have ever seen. You get into the shade and sit down, and you disappear. You just be still. They don't. It completely breaks up your silhouette.
Yep. Love Tiger Stripe and chocolate chip.
Chocolate chip's really good. And see, I wish they would do they do a chocolate chip in the woodland, or is it just desert?
Desert, as far as I know.
I like your tricolor desert camouflage. That's pretty cool.
I've either got to quit eating or find a bigger couple of t-shirts and chocolate chip, one of the two. So, and since I'm no control over my diet, probably just gonna have to find a new tailor.
Yeah, T-Board, there are some of the Realtree and some of the custom camos they make, depending on where you are really good. A lot of them are area specific, big time, but there are some good ones.
Yeah, that's the 3-color desert. That's what I like. That's pretty good stuff.
Oh,
Don't have any though.
this is 6-color. They're calling the chocolate chip a 6-color desert. 3-color desert is this one. Wait a minute. Hold on. They're saying this is the 3-color desert. I don't see any of the tiger stripe one.
You still get tree bark and tree bark and duck hunter.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen that before, but not for a long time.
Nothing but moo-moos? I don't think so. Wait, and moo-moos are the girls' clothes, aren't they?
It could be for fat guys.
Oh, that's harsh, Rachel. Lance's mom. Lance! Stick your tongue in your mama's ear.
Oh,
Oh.
no.
She keeps forgetting that I have a minion in her house. Just like to point out that he's a long-haired blonde, and he's mine. He belongs to me. He's my minion. Thank you, Anonymous. It's going to get worse. He'll sit back down in a minute. I was trying to get the Revolted Man. I was going to try to get him in here, but apparently he went dancing with his wife instead. And I can't believe he would rather spend time with his spouse than with us, but there's no accounting for taste in some fellas. Yes, ma'am?
Nothing.
Okay.
I'm on my way to the couch and I stopped in here to play with her.
Hi, Anonymous.
Is she being a good daughter?
Yes, she was just going to go get me some coffee.
Honey or sugar?
Honey, please. Thank you. You're such a sweet girl. No spitting in it.
Pashtun. I bet they don't really
Hi, Double A.
think that.
Now, he's got a collection of camo. He's got a collection of backpacks, too. I really like the way the ghillie suit works as far as camo goes. I've never been able to literally walk up to a deer before. And just, but not that close.
It didn't occur to me. I mean, when I.
Wait, are you talking to me?
Oh, sorry.
I would have had the light.
Hey, CT.
Hi, Happy Hair.
Wes says hi, Happy Hair. He says,
So basically in the morning, I have to
Huh?
squeeze the honey really hard for it to come out on the spoon.
Yep.
And
I took the liner out,
oh
so it's got like a lot of honey in it.
yeah, I tasted it to see if it was drinkable. It's drinkable, but it tastes like honey water.
Tastes like honey water.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Hey,
Thank
Mom,
you.
Dad took the
I'm going to be
chocolate
wired,
honey.
but that'll be all right.
It didn't tell me. Because I've been putting like just a little bit of sugar and then honey to make it super sweet.
Well, now we both know.
Eat as much sugar.
It was taking forever to get the honey out, so I took the lid out, and
It
now you
was.
just turn it up and let it over.
Or you do what I did and didn't know it was out.
Because I set it close to
you're
the
like-
coffee pot, so it'll be warm, so it'll come out easy. So maybe we should learn to communicate better. Communication before SHTF is equally as important as communication after SHTF, or you wind up with really dark honey water.
yeah, which isn't terrible.
Oh, that's like seriously
I was saying,
sweet
that
coffee.
actually like
It's like-
tasted pretty good.
That's pretty good stuff.
Ew.
Wes, do you know that Steve is here?
Steve he's over here, but he said he couldn't be here because he loves his wife and his children, and he's going to spend quality time with them watching a movie and not ghosting us in the chat room.
Okay.
That was a lot of words.
Hey,
Oh,
Steve.
fucking-
What are we talking? Oh, what were we talking? How do we get off on camo? Well, we're supposed to be talking about cold storage without power.
You
No,
brought
that-
up camo because the tiger stripe would keep the mosquitoes off better or something.
Something.
Yeah,
over
that's something like that.
Why not just do it like
It was
we did
Tibor's
back in
fault.
the day? Just go to
Sure.
where it's cold and still
Keyboard.
snow,
Go somewhere where.
and then use a horse to bring you back and store it in a building.
What if you don't have a horse?
Then get a really big dog like I have.
What if you're in the panhandle of Texas in the summertime?
Yeah.
Move before shit hits the fan.
Well,
And on that note, I'm getting out of y'all's conversation.
okay.
Rob's just planning on dragging everything to Colorado because he's actually he likes it up north anyways.
Or to Brownwood. That's one of my backup locations is the lake. I don't know. Not too many people there.
I actually found a couple of brine lakes northeast of me that don't have any population around them, and I know it's brine water.
Yeah.
But I also know that fire causes water to evaporate from brine water, and there's a lot of trees around these brine lakes.
Hmm.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's an option. You got to keep your options open. For sure.
I mean,
Wait, Steve is out. Bye, Steve. Foco.
later, Foco.
Not that. Yeah, the two Steves. Team Foco. That's yeah.
Thank you, Foco. Yes, stay safe, be positive, stock up. And seriously, I talked to a major, and I know this is everybody's gonna be like, he was lying to you because he doesn't want everybody to freak out. But I talked to a major grocery distributor. He said to calm your butt down. There is no, in the immediate foreseeable future, as in the next 6 months, there is no food shortage. He does not see the issue in Iowa and all that affecting
See,
grocery
Trey.
supply.
Yeah.
He doesn't
Now,
see it.
what may be
You're
affected.
probably going to be pissed next year.
Yeah. What may be affected, though, there's a pretty good chance, is the price of cotton. And not cotton from the field because China and Brazil are stacked up with it, but price of jeans and that kind of thing. I was listening to a report from a ginner that was around here. He was the ginner of the year here in Texas. And on a normal year, they do in the neighborhood of 50,000 bales. And he is trying to be optimistic and hoping that they will do 15,000 at that gin this year. That's like a 80% drop.
Damn it, Daniel. That's a good one.
No,
Steve,
it's not.
I'll check in the morning. I'll check the news in the morning and let you know.
But yeah, one of our favorite cooking oils is cottonseed oil.
Mm-hmm.
It's not FDA approved, but it doesn't scorch. It doesn't put an oily taste in the food. It's got a fairly shelf life.
We got an extra thing of marinara. I should mute my mic. Hang on.
Trey, you leaving? Trey, you need to come around more. I'm starting to think you don't want to be my cousin anymore, dude. It's hurting my feelings. The wife was crying the other day because you don't come to live streams anymore. She was in there just, I so miss Trey. He doesn't even come visit me anymore or nothing. It was very sad. You should feel ashamed of yourself. Not trying to guilt you or anything like that. I'm just telling you the facts as presented to me. Anyway, cold storage without
No,
power.
Sash, I don't, mate. I don't. Maybe 3 to 4 hours a night if I'm lucky.
I sleep during the day anymore.
I've taken a couple of naps here lately. If I come in, sit down during the heat of the day, come in, eat some lunch or whatever, sit down, God forbid, if I lay down, I'm done for about an hour. I don't usually do that. Yeah.
You'll get better at it. I can do 3 hours easy now.
I tell you what, this summer has kicked my butt. And not surprising, it turns out this is the third worst summer we've had now in records. I was looking at the news today. The second worst, I think the first worst one was 1939 back in the Dust Bowl. The second worst one was 2011, just 8 years ago, and now this one here. And I just, man, I'm over it. I'm done with summer in the heat.
This year, dude, we started July weather in May, brother.
Mm-hmm.
People don't get that. I mean, it starts tickling 100 in June, and then July 4th, it's like, welcome to hell. That's just the way it is. It was 102 degrees in May. May the 4th, here, 102 degrees. It tickled 100 degrees all the way through May. Busted.
Yeah, it's not
several
it's
times.
not uncommon to get 100-degree days in May. I can remember, quite a few, but it's usually just a 3 or 4 day stretch, and then it gets back down where it should be until real summer gets here. Not this year.
It's not all summer, and 100 degrees every day all the way through July, and then we didn't get under 100-degree day all of July, and then we've actually had under 100 days in August. What is going on?
We were 102, 103 today, 104 yesterday, I think, and then tomorrow's supposed to be up at 100.
Yeah, that's, it's the end of August. It should start cooling off, but it was cooler at the first part of August than it was here. I don't know about there. I was like, why is it 100 degrees? It gets hot in July and stays hot all the way through August here in Snyder. I don't know about your non-disclosed location, but
well, my non-disclosed location, I don't look for cooler weather until about the end of September.
Well, yeah, cooler weather, but I mean, cooler weather is subjective. My idea of cooler weather is, high of 90. September, it starts, the highs around 85-ish, 85, 90. And then the nights get down in the 60s. I like it.
Yeah, the nights make it better.
But
did you know that our air conditioner blew up about 2 weeks ago?
No, you did.
I mean, literally blew up in my face.
Did you get another one?
We got it ordered. It hadn't come in yet, but we got a couple of window units that have kept it livable. It isn't great, but I can't get the house down to about 68 at night like I like it, but it ain't 92 like it was for a few days as well. We put a window unit in the kitchen here and one in the living room.
That sucks.
Yes.
Did you get new
Yeah, if
copper?
the real SH... What's that?
Did you get new copper and stuff?
I'm not going to
Hey,
get new
Doss, how
copper.
you
We're
doing,
going to get a new condenser. No, the part that goes inside the blower unit. We're going to get that and a new outside unit.
Okay, well, if it's a R22 unit,
Exactly.
and if you don't replace the copper, that old burn oil and stuff, it'll eat the inside of your condenser. So you got to replace the copper.
Okay. Well, yeah, I didn't know what you meant by what. I don't know if he's going to replace the lines between the condenser and the unit. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, you replace the line.
Oh, okay. Well, he probably will then.
Okay.
I used to work with him out at the textile mill, so I've known him and been working with him one way or another since about 1980.
I don't sell that crap anymore, so I can be brutally honest with people. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't, whatever. They're going to charge. We used to charge the same whether we replaced your copper lines or flushed your copper lines. Get the new copper lines. I don't work for anybody else on that crap anymore. I can tell people.
Makes sense.
It's $200 worth of copper. Spend the $200. Have a 20-year life on your unit.
Yeah. My guess is it won't even take that much.
Well, I don't know if I don't know how far it is from your outside unit to your inside unit. It usually equals 50 foot of copper. So and that's, I think,
Maybe
line set is about $278. You get a 30-foot line set for $200. So, yeah. Once you settle.
So anyway, we're way off topic here.
Yes, he has confessed to being
Of course.
the North. Sasquatch. He's okay with it now.
Or I
Not.
guess okay with it.
We're not allowed to call him Yankee Rob, but we can call him Sir Robert of the North.
That's a compromise. I think that's called detente.
Yes, it's.
Hi, Carol. My Maria. I don't know my Maria.
Nobody has any ideas about how to do cold storage in SHTF, do they? Not a clue. Nobody ever heard of digging a hole?
Yeah, you can dig a hole. They don't stay cold under here.
Well, if you've got 36 inches of packed soil on top, it will. If you've got 48 inches, you can keep it, was it 55? The operation, that's why root cellars work.
Yeah, up here it may not be the same thing because I know people that have all that dirt on top, and it's nicer under there for sure. But
Well, if they don't have an insulated door, it's not going to work because you've got just your door.
yeah,
That's I see
But
guys
yet-
root cellars, and they're just putting in a single panel door over the top of it. I'm like, God, that's not going to work.
yeah. Guaranteed though, you're not going to have anything resembling cool if you don't get it underground.
Yes, and
You know, to that point, the crawl space under my house and other houses I've been into, even houses that don't have air conditioning, like just abandoned houses, not abandoned, but houses that we're renovating, working on, you get down in the crawl space and it is still pretty nice and cool under there. I hadn't thought about that. That's not a dirt covered anything. It's just under the house.
Under the house. That's
Yeah.
why. That's why I don't go under my house in the summertime because the snakes are in there chilling out. And I don't go under there in the wintertime unless I have to because they're under there not freezing to death.
You need to just go up under there with a little short shovel and smack them in the head and tell them to go find another place to hold up.
You smoke them out.
Okay,
Yeah.
just smoke them out. What? Left your house. What else? I was smoking out there. Yeah. But you know the cellars that are the coolest that I've ever been in are the old fallout shelters because
Yeah.
they've got a 90-degree turn into them, and there's actually a door at the bottom and the door at the top. So it's actually it's got that air pocket trap
Mhm.
between the two doors, and then it's got all that concrete because they put freaking 12 foot of concrete over the top of those things.
Mhm.
And
You know, think about some of the old cellars around here you and I've been into. They're fairly comfortable.
well, we went down in that when there wasn't even a door on that one, that cedar lined one or whatever.
Yep.
That fruit
Yep.
cellar. It was nice down there.
Yeah. I still got to figure out how to do a video about those. It's just such a cool thing, but I don't know how I'm going to do a video and keep it interesting because after the first one, it's like, yeah, and here's another one, and here's another one, and here's another one. I don't know. Bob Hansler had an idea about it, but we never got to talk about it.
Well, if you could show, if you could get videos of what Lubbock looked like before that 70s thing and after that 70s thing,
Yeah.
I'd go a long ways. So,
You know, in keeping stuff cool, so before we get off topic again, evaporation, you know, a lot of the old water jugs and things like that, they used to would keep a piece of burlap around something and wet it down, and the evaporation would cool it off. Thank you, Dior.
thank you, Dior. And yes, but go ahead and tell everybody else how it turned out. Uh,
Hey, Scotsman's in here. Hey, brother.
oh, the Scotsman showed up. Anyway,
Yeah.
Rob, you really need to go through the Ranch and Heritage Museum, dude.
I've been there. It's a
Did
cool
you-
place. I like
Did
it.
you see the air conditioner or the refrigerator? Or for the damn it, I can't remember the name of the ranch now.
I don't
Oh.
remember it. I haven't been there. It's been, in fact, I got to be careful not to get sad. The last time we were there is when the girls were little. I came across those pictures the other day, and that kind of tore me up. But that's how long it's been since I've been there.
They built a trough with clay tile or whatever. It was 12 inches wide and 6 inches deep. They had the windmill. The trough's elevated, and the windmill would pump the groundwater into the trough, and it would have to run an entire U before it got out and went to the animals for water and this, that, and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
And in that trough, that's where they set their milk, their butter, their cheese,
Yep.
their ham.
Yep.
And here's the trick: to keep the sun out, the yucca flower stems, they had those running up and down. They tied them together where there was an inch gap between them, and then they either had them singles or doubles. The breeze could come through, but the sun couldn't get in to the spring house. So not only were the biggest problem they had was not with keeping their food cool, because the water's coming out of the ground at 45 degrees. The biggest problem they had was keeping the hands out of that room,
Yeah.
because it's 100 degrees outside, it's 80 degrees in there, because it becomes a giant evaporative cooler. And it was actually probably less than 80 degrees in there. They had it sort of going when we were there, and it was nice. It was 90 some degrees, and they had the water right there, and it was like walking into an air conditioned building.
Sure. I mean, it's the idea of a spring house. Plus that water's coming out of the ground, like what, 52 degrees, something like that. So that's gonna make a huge difference. That'd be great.
Yep.
Great idea.
Friend of mine, he passed, and then his wife sold their property. They had spring water at 4 foot. They hit a spring when they drilled the well 4 foot.
That's handy.
And the water came out 42 degrees at 4 foot underground.
Hmm.
And they sunk the pump was at 28 foot, and it would freeze your butt out. We used to turn the sprinkler on and let the kids play in it, and they didn't stay in the water long.
I'll bet.
But they would run. They'd run through it, and then they would climb a fence and try to jump off into a mud puddle and break their arm. And we'd have to go to the hospital and all this other stuff.
My uncle down by Brownwood. Do you know where Zephyr is? Just
Yeah.
a little bit south and east of Brownwood. My uncle had a place, his ranch down there. He used to have a windmill that pumped into one of those rock tanks. It was just a cistern built out of rock that they'd cemented together. It was maybe 12 feet deep, something like that. I used to swim in that, and that would shrivel your pod. It was plenty cold.
But Sweet Pea was actually onto something a while ago. In the wintertime, you find the frozen water, you cut it, you store it in your cellar under hay and sawdust.
Yeah,
And that will last all summer long.
it can. It'll last a long time. And again,
Well-
it depends on how good your cellar is and that kind of thing. But yeah.
Yeah, we used to call those ice houses over here.
Say again, Abe?
Oh yeah.
Over here, back obviously before fridges and freezer were invented, they used to call them ice houses. And they were like basements, or actually in the side of hills and that. And they used to put big blocks of ice in, and just go and get it when they needed it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, believe
Yeah,
it or
that was
not,
a big thing up in North.
cutting ice is going to, you know, if we go back 100 years, 200 years, somebody with a good ice saw and a place to put it, they're going to be able to make out during the summer. They just may not have to grow very much. They may just be able to trade frozen water for what they need. Because not everybody's going to own a cave. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and not everybody's going to have water that can freeze.
Yeah.
In order to have ice, you got to have water and a lake.
We're not blaming California for the way our states are going. We're just saying that we don't need any help. Anyway, okay, yeah, Daniel God is my good judge, the crazy Scotsman, and all the other people that said they were in here waiting for talking about ammunition and bullets and stuff like that. Aid, what do you think about pistol caliber rifles? I knew I wasn't going to be able to say that right. Pistol caliber rifles.
I think they have the place, and just remember, our gun laws are a lot more stricter than yours. So yeah, if I could have a repeating 9mm or a 2.2 rifle, then that's better than nothing, isn't it?
Yes. Don't even get me started on 22 and people disrespecting them. Please don't do that.
If you get shot with the 22, you know, it's going to hurt. You're going to be thinking about something else rather than trying to rob someone.
The end.
Yeah.
The best thing about shooting somebody with a 22, same thing about shooting a coyote with a 22. It runs off to die. You ain't got a mess. You don't have to make a hole.
You know, you won't see the scar there, but I've been shot with an air rifle, and that bloody hurts. Yeah, so put some cordite behind that. Yeah, it's going to hurt even more.
I think that pistol. Oh, geez, Wes.
Pistol caliber carbines.
Thank you. We shall call those PCCs. Are a really good idea.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't even have to be a carbine. Is the lever action considered a carbine? Wasn't it
I
a
think
carbine?
so. I think so.
I think it was technically. Because I mean, think about it. You can get and thanks to Chip right now, I know that I can get a bolt action 357, which is so cool. But anyway, I just got to come up with $890 something bucks.
Or you can get that one like Keith had, that lever action. Was that a 44 Magnum, I think? Remember the one he carried on the 4-wheeler up there?
That's $800 too. The big boy.
Yep.
I do not want to have to carry that thing. That thing was a brick, dude.
Yes, it was heavy.
But he did get the sexy barrel.
He did. And he looked cool carrying it with his duster on.
He was really thinking about the round barrel by the time we got where we were going. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
He would have liked to have shaved the pound off the rifle. And actually, I think he was kind of wishing that he hadn't brought it.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yep, exactly, T-Bor. That's right.
It's a lot easier to reload pistol ammunition than it is rifle ammunition.
There is something to be said for only having to buy one caliber of ammunition and having that, you can buy a whole bunch of it and it'll fit whatever you got. My philosophy is different. I like having lots of different calibers just so that whatever I come up with, I've got something I can shoot it with. I don't know if that's a good idea, but it's fun to do.
I've got to work on my wife some. I'm always talking about taking the deer rifle with me to do this or that. I say I'm going to grab my 270 and go do something. and I asked her the other day, do you reckon a 270 bring down a bear? And she's like, what's a 270? So I love her to pieces. But M4, M16, and the AR-15 are considered to be carbine, yes. But they're rifle caliber carbine. And if, let's put it like this. Me, I want a 357 rifle because a 357, 38, 9mm are all the same bore. Believe it or not, I did not know this until a few weeks ago. You can load 38 and 357 with a 9mm slug. I did not know that. It's iffy loading a 9mm with a 38 slug because it could be just a tad bit tight. The 9mm could be a tad bit loose in the 357 or the 38. It's still gonna go that way. So
yep.
You're making one bullet for 3 different calibers for your semi-automatic handgun, your
David,
revolver, and your rifle. You only need one set of dies. You only have to pack around one set of dies. And then if you've got a primer punch, and you can, they sell hand reloading equipment. And if you're not the guy that's out there who's all tactical, that's running around in the bushes fighting off 20 incoming bad guys and stuff because you're going to save your entire civilization single-handedly with your 50,000 rounds of ammunition, then just after you kill the deer, you want to be able to turn that case, and you want to be able to turn this back into a full cartridge. You want to be able to put it back in the gun and go pew again. That's all you need. And if you can make it go pew in both a handgun and a rifle, you have effectively killed 2 birds with 1 stone. If you can defend yourself in close combat, and I used an old technical term there, and bring home the venison with the same round, why not? People are like, well, get you one of them there AR pistols. No offense, Mr. Famous, but why? I mean, have you touched anything in 100 yards with that thing yet? Did you hit anything?
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, it's still accurate. The advantage of the AR pistol is that the size of it. It conceals a lot easier.
Yeah, but how long is the barrel?
I don't remember. I don't remember. But yeah, it's still good. I mean, and I didn't buy it for I've got long range guns. If I'm going long range, that's not what I'm taking. This is for close work.
I wouldn't want to shoot one in the house with my kids, but
An AR? No, I wouldn't either.
I think they're cool. Don't get me wrong. And if somebody gave me one, I'd be like, yeah, let's go shoot this puppy. But
yeah, it's like anything. Each weapon has it made for a specific purpose.
I don't plan on being. I'm going to be the guy sneaking around in the bushes, hiding behind stuff, shooting at folks, and trying to get away. At the worst possible scenario is I've got to stay put while my people run away. None of those require me to have any go fast, high speed operator stuff. I don't have knees anymore. Why would I want to pretend like I'm going to, be anything other than, the guy that's going to try to sneak off very quietly. We're hunting for rabbits.
Exactly. And that's where something like that little tiny AR pistol is. I mean, it's not little tiny, but it's smaller and easier to move around with. That would be an advantage to that. You
Well,
know,
it's true,
as opposed to that big 26-inch barrel 308 I've got.
But what about the?
Hi, Christy.
Okay, somebody help me out. Who? Hi, Christy.
Hi,
Somebody
Christy.
help me out with what's the little 9mm? Who makes the stupid 9mm carbine?
The Uzi.
No, it's
An Uzi or a Galil. Oh, Keltec.
it makes no. There's one that looks just like a Ruger 1022, but it's 9mm. It's a
It's not, it's not the
head,
it's not the Keltec.
not that little. It may Keltec, isn't it? Keltec, isn't that the one that folds in half?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Well, those are crap, by the way.
High Point.
A phased plasma rifle. Yes, Squatch. I want one of those. Absolutely.
Did y'all see where
They
that
never
guy
seem to have them on the shelf though.
made one of those? He took a plasma torch and actually made a deal that shoots bullets. I'm like, that's up for the really real thing.
Oh, High Point. Yes, Daniel. That's right. High Point. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, the High Point carbine. But I don't think it folds in half though, does it?
No, but
I don't know.
I know that Ruger made one. Who's the people at Taurus? I think made a knockoff one. They've been around since the 80s that I know of, and they're really lightweight. They're effective to 100 yards. You know, I'm just saying, if I'm not spending any, this is going to sound really bad. I'm not spending any more money on guns. I'm done with buying guns
Yeah, me too.
because food and property make more sense now.
Yeah, they really do.
If I had to bug out tomorrow, if this life here was going to be untenable and I had to go become somebody else's servant, because if you move on to somebody else's property, you just became their property. In case anybody's wondering why we want to buy our own place, because we don't want to become indentured servants.
And that's a great point too. I mean, depending on where you go, you don't necessarily become. I dreamed about this last night. That's weird. You don't necessarily become an indentured servant, but it is possible because whoever property you're at, they're the king ultimately.
They're the king.
Yeah. No matter how benevolent they are, it comes to a point where you just because you're on their property, you have to let them. What they decide to do, you have to be okay with at some point.
Yeah. Yeah, Rob's right. As soon as something gets sticky behind the fence, the side of the fence you're on, they're going to say, "This is my land."
Yeah,
etc. You got to do as I say.
Yeah,
or get off my land.
Yeah, and justifiably so.
Before you show up, I mean, that's the way it is. If somebody came to my property,
yeah,
if my way or the highway. This is not the United States. This is Emperor Wes's place.
Exactly. If you don't like Emperor Wes's rules, you are welcome to go and live on your own place and be the king.
There's a lot of people out there that said, you're welcome to come here. And if I have to, I will.
Yeah.
But while I have an opportunity to remain King Wes, I'm going to try and do that.
Yeah. There will be people that show up at my place and I will be as benevolent. I mean, I will be the nicest, best guy, but there has to be an understanding at some point. What I say goes. I mean, and I'll be nice about it, but at some point it'll have to be that way.
You be nice about it until you can't,
Yeah. Yeah,
Even in like normal world, you got to follow the house rules. As you know,
that's
take your
right.
if you take your shoes off, that means I've got to take my shoes off. If you go outside to smoke, that means I've got to go outside to smoke. As simple
Yeah,
as that.
that's
Just in normality.
Yeah, as a courtesy.
Yeah.
Oh. You want
What'd
to
you do?
It's embarrassing. I'd rather not say.
You break a nail?
No, that gummit. I picked up a broom
And
and
you
it
thought,
had a
what to do
burr
with it?
on the end of it, and I was actually done sweeping, and I went to make a statement, and I grabbed the top of the broom with my thumb and bumped it on the floor and shoved a piece of wood right in my phone.
Yes.
And I thought I got it. I told you it was embarrassing. I thought I got it out, but apparently I didn't because it's swelling up and it's hurting like crap.
You want me to do surgery on
No, I did
Yes. Yes, we do. And we want to
not.
what?
No, I've got it.
Come
I
on.
already got it out.
the people?
I don't believe. You better check.
Let me see.
Kirsten, bring a needle
You
and
can't
some
see
tweezers.
squat. Now I can't see squat.
Are you looking at someone squatting?
Give her-
Har.
Give her
Look,
your
I don't
hand.
have any tools. I just want to see.
Give her your hand.
Look,
Let Nurse Kristen take over.
It's gone. I got it.
let me check. You're blind.
Yeah.
What do you take a huge hole in your finger for?
Because it was a huge chunk of wood.
A medical
No,
emergency.
I'll side with him on that.
You
what I
ladies,
do.
I appreciate y'all
You dig a hole
concern,
in
but
your
I
hand.
got it. And fellers, I appreciate y'all's help, but I got it. Y'all have no idea how many times I've had to
You're
dig
welcome.
a stick up for her. I'm not giving her a needle and letting her go to town on me. It would not be an act of kindness on her part.
I got a splinter in my
I don't
what is
know.
the proper word? Buttocks, I guess. When I was younger, like
Uh-oh.
a really big, like
Uh-oh.
chunk of wood in my butt cheek, and instead of just like
Oh,
making
boy.
like a little cut or something and pulling it out, he like gets in there and he's like digging at it, like cuts half my butt cheek off just to get the splinter. That's what it felt like.
I
Oh my God.
went in, I reached in there with I pulled the thing out, and she was screaming and crying the entire time. You thought I was killing her. I was not killing you. You're alive today, see?
She doesn't look killed.
You're not get gangrene of the ass and die.
Fair enough.
Amputate at the neck. I think not, Sasquatch, but thank you. I appreciate y'all.
Oh, we
Well,
could put your head in one of those jars like off Futurama, and then like put the rest of you as well.
sure. Or you could just go get me some hand sanitizer and let me put on this big hole in my thumb.
Pour some of that tequila on it.
That's a waste right there. I guess I could soak it in this little cup, which I keep forgetting about.
Yes.
Emergency field dental
I
service.
get to rub it in.
No. We'll just,
Oh, ah.
oh, it burns. Oh, you didn't even hit the hole.
Does it
Crazy.
burn?
No,
Does it?
it burns up here. Why does it burn up here? That broom was mean. I don't feel stings and burns anymore. I'm old. I'm impervious to pain.
Crap, Wes. I'm like my dad. You know, I used to make fun of my dad. He'd be walking around dripping blood off his arm. I'd be like, Dad, what? This is what you do. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, it's
How
going
did
back,
that
Christy,
happen?
believe me.
Yeah, and now it's me. I walk around. I'm like, hey, when did that
That's-
happen?
What did you tell me today? He says, you're bleeding, Dad. And I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't know when that happened. What's the last one?
Yep, David.
Out trouble.
Okay. Bug out.
Yes, back on topic.
Bug out. Aid said some stuff he wanted to say about bugging out in the Greater Britain area.
Well, this is just my opinion, yeah, but I've heard it so many times. People are going to bug out to the places like the Lake Districts, the Pennine Way, and it's absolutely useless. At this moment in time, in the Lake Districts, small villages have already battened off their roads. They've only got one road in, one road out type villages. They've already put roadblocks up for the C19. So in a post-war situation, they're going to be the same roadblocks there. They're going to have shotguns and other things to keep people away, so people just can't go wandering up.
Right.
All right, we'll have a look. Yeah, 500,000. Right. The most isolated part of the United Kingdom is called the Yorkshire Dales, and that's 500,000 acres of basically grassland and rocks. So there's nothing out there anyway. It's too. Some of the areas is too boggy and a little bit too high up to actually grow stuff.
Was it like the moors?
Yeah, moorland. That's what it is. It's all moorland. But around the Yorkshire Dales, there's villages and towns. So where do you think they're all going to go? And as far as those people who live around there, it's theirs. So you rock up in your lovely bug out vehicle, they tell you to go away. And I've said this to Wes and Rob before. When I've heard people say, "Oh, I've got a bug out location," it's usually a caravan on a caravan site, which is right next to the main road. Hang on. More notes. Right. In the UK's, it's 160,000 square miles. Yeah. And there are 70 million people living here.
Man.
Right. So you got somewhere like California, which is, I think it's 60,000 miles bigger than England. And there's like 40 million people living in there. So you know how big California is, right? There's 40 million people live in California. My country's a bit smaller, and there's 70 million people living there. So if everyone bugs out to places like the Pennine Way, which is basically the backbone of England, it's in the central of England, and it starts in Derbyshire, and it's a mountain range that finishes up near Hadrian's Wall. So all you're going to see is lines and lines of tents, like a refugee site. Yeah. So I think anyone bugging out in the UK, there's honestly nowhere to go. So bugging in is the prime objective really for anyone. That's just my opinion though.
Sure.
Oh yeah, and the Yorkshire Dales is actually owned by the National Trust, which is government. The government own the Yorkshire Dales. Go on, Rob, sorry.
And Abe, the people in the tents, like you mentioned, they're going to be a lot more. Like the people in the tents that you mentioned are going to be a lot more vulnerable than people inside a building.
And again, it's mountain land, so it's above the tree line. It's all grass and rocks. You can't grow anyway. Well, that depends, Chris. Depends on where I'm working. Sometimes it's literally a 10-minute walk, or sometimes I've got to maybe cycle or get public transport to one of the places I work at outside of town. Maybe about 10 miles, 15 miles. The most of commute to work is about 20 miles.
The downside to even getting a boat, Robert, more is that where's he going to go? Europe?
Yeah. As soon as I open my mouth in Europe, that's me. It's over and done with. We're not the most popular people over there. Unless we're spending money in the tourist areas. That's about it.
I guess if you had a decent sized boat, you could make it to Iceland. Or Greenland.
Then what are they going to do? They're going to tell them to go away. There won't be enough food for them, so they're just going to tell me to start up, aren't they?
Well, if you can make it to Greenland,
right,
you could follow the coast around, and then you could jump over to Canada. And Canada's loved everybody, so be set. You just find you some Canadian girl and say, "Hey," or say, "You want to get married?" Hey, or whatever.
My get home bag is basically my 25 litre, I think it's 20 litres, like 20 litre backpack. And that's all it is. It's just a small backpack, and in there I've got a multi-tool, a Mylar bag, some gloves, and some other bits and pieces, which I carry with me all the time. If I'm going into town, I put that bag on my back to put my shopping in it.
So that's a good plan. They're getting weird about people bringing backpacks into stores here now. It's can't blame them. I mean, people
Yeah. Too easy to shoplift.
have done. They bust people's chops for carrying a backpack in. Yeah, you got these women walking in there
Like
with Gucci bags the size of a duffel, and it's like, you could put a person in there, and
Good, but I wouldn't want to carry him very far.
Well, in the UK, they're really trying to get people to stop using plastic bags. It's quite a thing about it. So people going in with their own little rucksacks and their own carrier bags, or the reusable ones. It's quite well. It's more welcome than not because they have to.
It was that way in California as well. If you didn't bring your own plastic bags, you paid, I think, 20 cents a bag, maybe, at the store for each bag you used. Nobody was sitting there checking and counting. It was an honor thing. But yeah.
Whenever you buy the wheat and it comes in the burlap sacks or whatever, just keep the sacks. Then when you go grocery shopping, and just throw them up there until put them in there like that, and they'll be like, "What's this?" Just grocery bag.
Hey, and why not? Because you're gonna have a mask on anyway, so it's just natural, right?
It's freaking annoying as crap.
By the way, since I mentioned it, I'm curious. Poll in the chat over here. Who is actually wearing their mask and who is telling everybody to kiss their butt? You ain't wearing it. Kiss my butt. I ain't wearing it. That's me.
Right. Well, I've said this a couple of times. I actually don't mind wearing the mask because if I leave my house and I walk to the other side of the town centre, I've been clocked on CCTV 200 times.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So I don't. So I don't mind wearing it just so I'm not being clocked on CCTV every 2 seconds.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Good reason. Good reason. Yeah, I don't wear it. It just annoys me. It's that whole taking away my right to choose thing. And I can use the same analogy with seatbelts. My choice should be my choice if I want to wear a bleeding seatbelt or not, because it doesn't help anybody else if I wear it. It's like I can go rock climbing without a helmet and without ropes, and that's okay. And I'm pretty sure that's a lot more dangerous than not wearing a seatbelt. Now, I believe seatbelts are a good idea. I really do. I don't believe that those masks are helpful at all. Maybe in the tiniest bit, but it just annoys me that our king up in Austin mandates that we have to do it. So I don't.
Is Scotsman still in here? I just checked my phone. Man.
And yeah, keyboard. That's okay. That's okay. Keyboard. Yeah, some stores tell you to leave. Sometimes I do. I can spend my money somewhere else. But usually I say, no, I've got a condition, and they let me in.
Well, first store ever, I didn't even go. Well, I've been into Tractor Supply a couple times and never said anything, but they got a new sign up now. Big plywood sign that says stop. You are required to wear a mask in this store. So the doors, somebody was on their way out. The doors opened up, and I said in a forceful voice, Tractor Supply, if they're going to tell me I have to wear a mask, I'm not going in.
Yep.
And there was people all lined up to check out, and we 180'd and left. And as I turned back around. I said, G-Bo's doesn't require one.
Mm-hmm.
And we went to G-Bo's, and G-Bo's had. Did I fan these already once? And they had the dog food on sale. And when you buy dog food at G-Bo's, they give dog food to animal shelters.
Mm-hmm.
And Tractor Supply done pissed me off now.
Yeah.
But that's just like, I mean, you can't say, no, we're not going to let you shop here if you don't wear a mask. Dude, it's the governor doesn't even tell us that we have to wear a mask.
Right.
It's up to the store. So why you want to be like that?
Yeah, it really is up to the store because most places will let you in anyway.
Yeah, and they, like I say, they were before, but I guess because one of the big bosses came down and they were just being cool about it, or somebody may have bitched or whatever, but One guy actually walked back to his car. He was at the door. I guess they said something. He went back to his car and got a mask. I wasn't going to do it. And this is some old guy. I mean, he's like 80. Made him walk back to his truck and get a mask. It's a load of crap.
Yeah, it is. You know, Reese, the speakeasy. Reese and I went to a place called Eskimo Hut in Lubbock the other day. And we went in, we both had been running errands and we both wanted something yummy to drink. We got in there and the dude behind the counter said, you have to wear a mask to be in there. I said, I got a condition. They said, the owner doesn't care. You have to wear a mask. I said, really? He said, you're going to make me do it. Risk losing my business. I put it on for about 5 seconds. It pissed me off so bad. I took it off and turned around and said, you know what? I'll go spend my money somewhere else. And I walked out. While I was outside, Reese went over to the counter and he said, I'd kind of like to try a sample of something. The guy said, oh, it's cool. And said, hey, if you're having a sample, you can take your mask off.
Oh, jeez.
Okay to take your mask off if you're eating or drinking. That's the way it worked on the airplane. I got on the airplane. They were strict. Oh, boy. See, here I go. Everybody sit back and buckle in. To get on the airplane, you have to have your mask on. They won't let you on the plane without it. Okay. But as soon as you get set down in your seat, you pull out a water bottle. Now you're eating and drinking, and it's okay to take your mask off because this is a smart virus. It knows if you're eating or drinking, and it's a polite virus, so it doesn't bother you if you're taking a drink of water or putting a bite of food in your mouth. And so it's okay not to have your mask on, and I just want to punch people sometimes. Going through security in the airport, all these signs have to have your mask on. Well, I'm going to test the fence. I'm like the velociraptors on what is that movie? Jurassic Park. I'm testing the fence. I'm going to find out the weak spots. If anybody on Instagram, you probably saw this picture. I got a mask hanging over my ear by the side of my face. I go all the way through security like that, get into the x-ray machine, hold the hands up, got my money here. The thing goes around, steps out. The guy looks at you. Yes, you're good. You got your shoes off. You got everything. Said, you got your mask on. You're good to go. Have a good trip. I had my mask on, hanging over my ear. It's
just comply. It's
yes,
just comply.
yes.
Okay, I've got a question for you Texan guys. So, do you still have to quarantine at Dallas Airport?
I don't know. I don't go to Dallas Airport.
Yeah, we didn't go. When we flew to California, our first stop was in Las Vegas. So I don't know. And there I didn't wear it either, and so did a lot of other people, because even though the governor, had his message on the intercom, I didn't care about the governor.
Right.
Squatch, you can't leave.
You're bailing.
He's going.
Yeah, it's 11:30 where he's at.
Oh yeah, it is.
Not everybody lives in the right part of the world. What is it? Aid, the time difference affects some of these folks.
Really? It's 20 past 4 a.m. here. I'm on Sunday, folks. I'm on Sunday. You're on Saturday, aren't you?
Right. Yeah. Saturday night.
Steve. I love that.
20 minutes after 10 o'clock here, Aiden.
But anyway, yeah. I think that was. Man, the bug out troubles are the same everywhere, but I don't know. The people that think they're going to get out of town, we've got a plan. You're going to spend 30 minutes loading stuff in your truck. That was enough to get halfway out of town. All the people that didn't take the time to load the stuff in their truck, they've already got the roads jammed up. You're not going anywhere. If your plan is to bug out from town, you need a vehicle that you crank every day and do nothing but crank every day to make sure it starts, hooked to your bug out trailer. So if it's time to go, whoever's closest to that cranks it up and y'all meet them somewhere outside of town.
Yeah. 11 hours behind. Wow.
Yeah.
No way.
I don't know how many of y'all watch Integrative Preparedness. Steve Smith. I've gotten to know him a little bit. He's a good guy. He did a deal the other day. He's got a public area outside of Kansas City that he's looking at as a potential bug out location. And I mentioned to him, I said, that's good. I said, what are you going to do when, since it's public land, like a park or what, I don't know what exactly it is. I said, what do you do when lots of other people show up thinking they've got as much right to be there as you do? So there's always, no matter where you're going, there's always going to be an issue. If you leave and go somewhere else, there's going to be issues.
And it's, I mean, if you've got it, even if you still owe the bank on it, if you've got a deed to it, you've got some rights to it.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, I mean, there's some land here, and I'm supposed to remind everybody to help us find some property or whatever. But there's land just north and east of us. But that's for sale. But that's in the area where the people, they're like, yeah, grandma lost it in the whatever, there was a split up in the family, and this person got half of the ranch, and they sold it to some developer. That developer cut it up and sold it into 40-acre lots. You buy one of those 40-acre lots, but then the people who've been on that ranch land for, the family that's been on that ranch land since 1864 or whatever, they don't care whether you've got a deed or not when the government.
Right. Yeah, they still feel like they own it.
And so you're going to have, you better be able to get over there, make friends with them, and know all the points of egress, because they're going to. I don't know if I've told this story yet or not. I'm not going to name the ranch, but north of us, almost due north of us, there's a ranch out there that has a very strict speed limit for the oil field and everyone else alike. He sold them the right of way and allowed them to build a road on it. No, he rented them the right of way for the road.
What's that?
Potluck was canceled. So
They don't own any of the locations, any of the roads. He owns them. He allowed them to build the roads. He set the speed limit, and it's 10 miles an hour.
Mind if
He literally sits on top of bluffs on that ranch with a radar gun. And if he catches you busting the 10 miles an hour, he will put a rifle round through your tire. He will literally, and this was a while back, this was back when I was younger, he would flat your
Hey,
tire
David.
for you. That's how serious these people are out there. They just really don't give credit. So, yeah. When you get to when you buy a bug out location, you better become like the natives. You better make friends with the natives. You need to go to church with the natives. You need the natives to think you're the coolest invader ever. You're going to want the natives to want you to marry their ex-sister-in-law or their ex-wife to get her off the alimony. You're going to want your new neighbors at your new property to love you. So don't go there and be the same jerk you were in the city.
You're a different jerk.
Yeah, completely different. Be a cool jerk. See, like me,
Yeah.
everybody along with me. Well, most, except for the assholes that don't like me, and then I really don't care. So,
Not to put too fine a point on it.
not to put too fine a point on it, but if they can't like me, they've obviously got issues.
Right. I'm going to go pay some rent on my drinks right quick. Right back.
And yeah, seriously, who couldn't like me? Who wouldn't love me? Y'all be quiet. Nothing out of that room. My dog even likes me wherever she is. Did y'all lock my dog outside? That's rude. Later, David. I'm sorry to hear that, Rachel. I guess. Thank you, Stacy C. Everybody, nobody else said that. So many rules. I'm screwed. Chipper, you make good friends with your neighbor. Have you ever recovered from your neighbor selling his place and moving? I'm just asking. You can see that's true, Christy.
A lot of people are going to like you now, Christian. Now you got a boat. Believe me.
Who got a boat? I don't have a boat.
Yeah, Christian's got a boat. It's cool.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I watch your videos.
Man, I wish I could watch people's videos. Well, okay, today I could have watched some videos. I tried to watch the entire movie of Heartbreak Ridge from YouTube clips, but it's not all out there. It sucks. I can't find my copy of Heartbreak Ridge. I think my wife hid it from me. Which y'all laugh, but it is very possible.
Yeah, they'll queue up. They'll queue up and wait their turn.
Has anybody seen 1917 yet? That was a really cool movie, but they're like, oh, don't do that. That's stupid. And they did it.
I haven't seen it.
She just left it there.
And Joker. Everybody was talking about Joker. I got to copy it and watch Joker. I'm just like, that guy needs help.
I haven't seen that one either. I'm horribly behind and out of touch on movies.
Well, basically what I got from the Joker is that, and all of those people in Antifa are going to worship this guy. Seriously. Anyway, we're not going to bring up that either, Wes. You said no politics. No politics. Because I don't want to go there. And that's the whole public lands or whatever. If they find you camped on, like, in the national forest, they can arrest you. If there's a government and a military left. Which there's always going to be. There's never going to come a point when there's not a government. There was a government in 1776. So even if we go back in time 200 years, we're still going to have a what? Everybody say it together. A government. Thank you.
Yeah, most of our countryside is owned by the government.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's our land, but the government's in charge of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we call it the National Trust.
Yeah,
it's basically a government department. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a whole nother rat hole, or what's the word, rabbit hole I could go down, and I'm not. I get annoyed at them.
Technically, in the UK, you can't actually just go camping anywhere. Dartmoor down south, there's some, you can camp on there, but there are some seriously strict rules. No open fires, none of this, none of that, and they will arrest you because they want the fine money. We're in the Lake Districts. If you're really tidy and you clean up after yourself, they do tend to turn a blind eye because, again, they want your money. The tourist industry there want your money. so they do turn a blind eye. But if you act like an idiot, they'll fine you.
Yeah. 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 You know, that's the one thing I understand.
Campsites are awful.
There are stupid people. I mentioned that in the video I did. There are stupid people out there. And so part of me, as much as I hate all the restrictions that they put on everything, I kind of get it, because there are people that would just lay waste to everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's,
if
gotta
you've
have
got
them.
to send people to clean it up, they've got to get paid, and that means they're going to charge you.
Mhm.
They're going to charge you the money so that they can pay the people to clean up.
Well, true. I mean, we could do with some old school. We could do with going back in time a little bit, but there are actual people that have a better claim to the lands that they live on than a lot of people do today. But those are their ownership actually goes back to before they were part of the United States. So they still got to pay property tax, but
Right. So do you really own it?
yeah, it's
I get it. And I know. What other topics did you have that we were going to try to cover tonight, Wes?
I don't know, the bug out trouble, pistol carbines, which everybody completely disagrees with me on. I think that pistol carbines are the sexiest thing ever.
No, I don't.
A rifle
I agree with you.
It's just a waste of muzzle pressure. You might as well freaking buy a 300 Blackout. And I just really don't want my bullet to go that fast. Okay, so I want it to go slow. I want to make it last, so like the bike has a chance to move before the slug gets there. Okay, so I'm going to keep it subsonic at 200 yards.
Thank you.
Sorry, man. Come on. I'm going to take a perfectly good caliber and I'm going to cut its testicles off and I'm going to put it in this AR and we're going to be totally badass about it. No, you're not. It's a that now. If you want to build an AR pistol, build that puppy in 300 Blackout. That makes sense because you're only shooting 50 yards. It's the only damn difference, and you can silence it. But why you want to shoot at a hog at 100 yards with something that's kind of going when you could just go bing? I have strong feelings about the 300 Blackout, and I apologize for those. Where'd it go? I lost it. The thing that was empty. This one. This is a 357 versus 38. Doesn't matter. This bullet is going faster than your 300 Blackout. Just use pistol caliber carbine. Just be happy with what you got. Unless you want to silence your rifle. I mean, that makes sense. And bug out trouble. And don't tell me, Rob, you just bought a 300 Blackout, didn't you?
No, I have no interest in a 300 Blackout.
I was thinking, like, I hope he didn't just buy one of those because I was going to go dove hunting with him and I have to send him back. Bill, how about any ideas? Well, we talked about that a little bit. We brought up fires and stuff in SHTF. I mean, you got to cook, but the house again, old people raised by people who lived through the Depression. That's the house I'm remodeling now. This will be the fourth one of these I've done in the past few years. They all have a common theme. They have storage everywhere. And it's not stupid. Most people think, well, why in the world did they keep that? Because the guy has freaking bottles, the little propane bottle. Why the hell would a guy need that many of those? Well, because he remembers what it's like not to be able to go to the store and buy them. So he has this many of them, and when he uses one, he goes to the store and buys one to replace it and puts it in the back. So when the stores are no more, he can still do his job because he's got 25 in reserve. So prepping is not nuts, people. Stockpiling stuff is not nuts. It's just not. Having fish antibiotics is not a bad idea. Spending a little bit of time researching the way to use things that you ordinarily wouldn't care about, and actually having, and yeah, thumb drives are cool. Having it on external hard drives is cool. Take a lesson from Buzzard Roost. He has it on the computer, and he has it in hard copy. He doesn't have to go buy a book. He just has to get hold of the right notebook that he has researched out and taken the pertinent information to him and his area, and where he has written it down, everything he needs to know that applies to him and where he's at, and he has a hard copy of it.
Yeah, hard copies are good. They're hard. You can't deny that. If everything fell apart, right, for sure.
I mean, I could lose everything. All the lightning's got to do is hit in the right place, and I lose everything. Robert just left the thing, or did he just close it?
I don't know what happened. I moved my screen and my camera quit working. Come here.
Oh,
hang on. Let me do that.
Oh, cool.
Come on. There we go. I just adjusted my screen.
What's this? I can magically make him be quiet. I forgot I can do this. Oh, he can't talk now. I can do that to myself too. It's kind of funny. It's kind of hard to laugh at yourself though when you do it because nobody can hear you. I don't know. Check out Christopher Knight, the North Pond Hermit. What is he doing?
Dino Dave is a new name. I haven't seen that name before.
Yeah. The steel tips are not, green tips are designed to go through your plate carrier. So if it hits just meat, it's just going to keep going. I had to research and find out what green tips were. They actually have, those are the ones with there's like a steel core in them.
Mm-hmm.
So when you get the soft stuff expands against the plate and pushes the other through the body armor.
Mm-hmm.
And you still wind up with a weeping hole.
Yeah, they're good for shooting at cars and that kind of thing. They will do a bad thing to whoever or whatever you shoot, but it doesn't have the intense stopping power like a frangible or oh, good grief, what am I thinking of? Like a hollow point or something like that expands a lot when it hits. I shot a rabbit one time with a penetrator round, and it just stood there for 10 seconds, and I thought, I know I didn't miss it. And then it quivered a few times and fell over.
Yeah.
But it just shot right through like a laser. Robert, they do not what? Robert Moore said, no, they do not, Wes. They do not what?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Right,
Too.
Kildare. See you later, mate.
Killdeer out of here? I didn't even see that.
Go ahead, Kildare.
There it is. Not
Uh,
Killdeer, bud. Good to see you.
You didn't tell us how the freaking rat was doing. I mean, the marsupial. Or I didn't see it anyway.
No, Robert, is that right? I'm pretty sure the green tips are the penetrator rounds. I'm almost certain of it. That they have that little steel core in it. The what are they? The N65s? Nah, that's not right.
And
Now I can't remember.
I don't know. I thought it was green tips that were the metal core. It might
The
be
black tips are good for something, but what are the black tips? Rat, I gotta look now. Robert, I gotta look. Yeah,
Well,
pretty
the
sure.
people say green tips are steel core.
Black tips.
Well,
What are the black tips? The black tips are something else, but I don't remember what.
Now I've got to take that brand new piece
AP?
of plate I bought and shoot it with a freaking green tip, see what happens. Got to knock a hole in my plate just to see what happens. Or we could.
Yeah, I think the black tips are a hardened. I think they're an armor piercing, but they're a hardened. Who knows?
Yeah, we'll find out. I'll bring a steel plate with you, Rob, and then you'll hold it up. Then
yeah, heck yeah.
Tell me what happens on the back side of it.
Okay.
Or we could just use a watermelon, whatever.
The M65, that's what that round is. The M65. See, now I got to go look.
I wonder if you can get green tips in a blackout. Oh, sorry. That way they can lope over there and go ding, bounce off. I'm sorry. I guess 300 blackouts got a purpose. What? They did get a lot of people to buy new guns. So. Now everybody's researching ammo. See what you can do.
Not at all. This is the only social I get at all, Christy. So it's good for me.
I have some 150, hold on, I can't read, 150 grain and some 130 grain 270s on my desk. This is for deer, antelope, and wild boar. Extra soft tip.
Yeah, I'm reading here. It talks about the M855, the green tips. It's talking about whether it's an armor piercing round or not. It says the real outrage that critics have of the pending ATF ban is that the M855 doesn't fall into either of the above categories. It's the above categories meaning, well, other stuff, but blah, blah, blah. Its core is still lead, like many conventional bullets, and its jacket does not weigh over 25% of the total weight of the projectile. The bullet does have a steel tip, but that's not mentioned in the above classifications. So now I want to know what a black tip is.
Well, I'm still going to shoot some with green tips if it goes all the way through.
Okay. Tell you what, I may be busy.
Black tip.
I may be busy that day. You should get Aid to help you out and hold that plate for you.
62 grain 5.56 45 NATO do have steel core penetrators. They are designed to penetrate barriers such as car doors, rock, brick wall. 62 grain green tips will not penetrate AR 500 steel plate. Thank you, Diors, for the $20, and you could have cleared that up without the $20. But thank you.
It gets your attention though, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I mean, but so do cats. But aftermarket, who knows what aftermarket? You know, if it's not in the, if it doesn't come in an ammo can, is it really a green trip? Green trip. Green tip.
That one.
What's annoying me is that there's 10 millimeter ammo all over town, and I don't own a 10 millimeter pistol. Apparently, nobody wants a 10 millimeter, and I did not know that you could put 40 in a 10 millimeter. Did you know that? You can cycle 40 caliber ammunition to a 10 millimeter. Or somebody said that. I don't know if you can or not, but that's what I was told. The 10 millimeter is the same size thing. It's just more powder.
Okay, without spending any more time on it, it looks like what the black tip is, that they're like the green tips, but they've got a little hotter powder behind them, so that the yaw, that means how much the bullet wobbles on the way out, is a little bit less because it's got a hotter load behind it. An orange tip, I've never even heard of that one, Robert. Anyway, I want some. I want to be like Robert Moore. I want a couple hundred rounds of all of it.
Can you not get a 10 millimeter pistol, Wes?
I could go get one, but I've already told myself I'm not buying any more handguns. I can trade off. But if I'm thinking that if I change guns, I'm going to switch to a 9 millimeter. So just because, well, I got more chances to miss that way. .55 grain 5.56, 45 NATO will penetrate. AR-500 still play, but not AR-600 or level 3 body armor.
That means my body armor will stop AR rounds then. Oh, cool.
Well, some of them, because some of the aftermarket stuff's pumped up a little bit. That's the thing. Every time you come out with better body armor, they come out with a better bullet. I can't believe they're shooting pepper balls out of paintball guns in Portland still. Well, those guys are standing behind those mesh fences, just standing 5 foot away from the fence, so the pepper's not even getting to them.
I don't know. I bet it still gets them.
No,
they can skip them off the ground and still splatter them.
But aren't primers hard to get hold of at the moment, Tibor? This is what I've been watching on YouTube and stuff.
That I found we were cleaning up the shop at that house, and I found a metal can that was for pellets, 22 caliber from Sears and Roebuck, man. I'm keeping that. It's going on my shelf. The same one that has the denture powder on it.
Oh yeah.
I just love cans like that. I have a cloves. I think it's cloves. A can of cloves that I found in one house. The cloves are from 1940 something.
Wow.
And I wouldn't put them on anything, but I put the whole thing on my dynamite shelf. So
that's so cool, Robert.
You have a SKS, don't you, Robert? Rob?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, should have thought of you. We could have gone halves on 640 or 660 rounds the other day.
Oh, the 7.62 by 3.9.
Yeah. They had got in 2 spam cans at Jibo.
No.
$199 a can, but
Yeah.
been $100 for 330 rounds.
Yeah,
That's
that's
not
not terrible. Yeah, I don't use mine a whole lot. I need to. Mine still has the internal box magazine. I have not upgraded it to where it's got a detachable magazine. My little brother did his that way. I want to, but I just haven't. It's kind of. I love that. I love that rifle. It's a fun. I've got a Yugo. It's the kind that has the bayonet that flips out on the front.
Yeah.
And I love it. It's fun to shoot, but it's not one of my primary concerns. But still, extra ammo for anything would be good right now.
But you don't have an AK, do you?
I do not. I wish I did. I'm sorry. My name's Rob, and I have a problem. I have an addiction. I love firearms. I can't. It's like women. I can't hardly say no.
It's just like right now he's saying he's googling ammo in the background, but he's trying to find him a 300 blackout AR.
That's one thing I'm not into is the exotic calibers. I'm not into 300 blackout. I'm not into 6.5 Creedmoor. I'm not into 17 HMR.
What the hell is a 6.5 Creedmoor? I mean, there's plenty of ammo down at the table. What the hell is it?
I don't know. It's just something. Reese, the Mistress, I think is 6.5, and it's a great round. What's that?
Isn't that like a 243 or something?
You're locking up.
Who, me? It's not me. It's not my fault.
I think it's, it's bigger. I think 243 or 270, something like that.
Well, why not just get 270? If anybody wants to give me a 30-30, I think I may have mentioned that I would break my rule for one of those.
Yeah, I love my 30-30. It's slightly better. Robert Moore, why is it slightly better? I mean the ballistics on it, I think, and the bullet the bullet coefficient, I think, is a little bit better. But it wasn't exotic, but it's not as hard to get as it used to be. I don't know.
Yes, you did, Diors. I think I read that out loud, but I'm not going to have to worry about any of that. If somebody shoots me, it's going to penetrate all the way through because my old cripple fat butt is not going to be wearing body armor. The last thing I need to do with this extra 40 pounds I'm toting around right now is put another 35 on top of that. Then I could just take 2 steps and go fall to the ground and scream in pain. It's hard enough. When you caught up to me at BTSR, what was I doing, Rob? And I left at like 30 minutes. 30 minutes ahead of y'all. And when you caught up to me at the spring, I was sitting on a rock waiting for help.
Yeah.
And all I had was my sleeping gear and a couple of cans of Spam, for crying out loud. I wasn't even packing a firearm or anything. I know and granted, there's no oxygen at 6,000 feet, but still, I can't imagine going to Colorado with COPD and trying to breathe. I'd be like, I'd be rolling my little bottle of oxygen. Squirrel. But anyway. So that's like the 270 versus the 30-30, or the 30-06. That's the cell for the 270 as it flies, just a little flatter than the 30-06 or 30-30. I broke my teeth shooting a 270. Oh, what did you do to him? Oh, Storm's there.
How was Bob cut out?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a good video, Dawes.
See if he wants to try to come in.
So I mean, I've got to talk more now.
Probably.
Oh,
I told him he could try to come back if he wants to. We'll just put him on mute though. I have only shot one 308 in my life. I've shot a 300 Winchester Magnum. I've shot 7mm Magnum. I've shot a 243, and I don't like. Oh, I've shot 3 different 243s, and I did not enjoy discharging any one of the rifles. It kicks like a mule, and you're sending a little bitty T90 bullet downrange. They just don't make
I
any sense.
should probably. I should jump off if you can hear me.
Yeah,
We had a storm. The storm is here. The thunder or whatever is going on. It's what knocked me off there for a second. I looked up a 6.5. 6.5 is about a 25 caliber. It's not quite 26, so probably a 270 is what it
isn't
would
the
work out
FN
to.
Star 6.5?
Is it?
I think so. Yeah,
I didn't.
I'm not
I didn't
100%
know
sure
that. It
on
might be. Maybe so. Maybe so. I may go ahead and stay on just here for another minute just in case, but my guess is the storm. Let me look at the radar. And of course,
I
that
just
is
looked at
expired.
But we've been on here a while anyway.
Yeah, a couple hours.
I've never shot a
Been a
223.
good-
I've shot a 222. I like a 2. I would actually really like an AR-15 in a 222. Can you?
Yeah.
I mean, you've got.
You know, you could
I mean,
interchange the rounds mostly
the casings are smaller though. The
a little
ammo,
bit.
their 222 is smaller and lighter. It's still a 22 caliber bullet, but you're looking at less weight. You know, not as effective down because I think what a 222. I think you get them in 45 and 50 grain slugs or whatever. They're not.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're not as heavy. They're still hot coming out of the muzzle though.
They shoot flat. So I think it'd be a cool gun. I mean, it would be way cooler than that other one I kept busting off for forever. If I've always wanted to play around with a 22 Hornet, but I've never been able to get my hands on one. Now I do know a guy that's got a gun that he should gift his friend, but he's not going to.
I wondered if that was going to come up.
Yeah, I just remember this jumped into my head.
Yeah, and I keep thinking about that, and I think maybe I should, but not today.
Not today. We could at least take it out and shoot it.
Yeah, we could do that.
We could do that. He's got a
Take it.
Was it 20? Is it a 20 and a 222?
Yep,
Sexy.
I love it.
It's like that gun has Wes written all over it. The other day I was standing by his gun safe listening, and you could hear that all over under in there just crying, I just want to live with Wes.
I know it. It is heartbreaking, isn't it?
He would be taking me out and rubbing oil all over me all the time. He would polishing me. But no, I just have to stay in here in this dark, damn safe with all these other black guns that scare me.
It looks like the chat has died.
I think a lot of the people.
Yeah, we've been going almost 2.5 hours, and my wife is patiently.
What is that over and under, Rob? I can't remember now.
A Savage.
Shotgun, isn't it?
Yeah.
Over and under.
Yeah, it's a
side.
Shotgun. It's a 20 gauge shotgun over a 222.
Or under.
Under a 222.
Yeah.
And
Single shot break open. But it is a survival gun.
you
Oh
can
yeah, I've
shoot.
seen them.
ducks or deer.
Yeah.
Take your choice. Or a
Or
rabbit.
cranes. I got a crane from way up high shooting some number 4 buck one time. My little brother laughed, thought I wasted a shot until a crane landed between us about a minute and a half later.
You didn't happen to pull both triggers at the same time, did you?
No.
I've often thought.
You know what? I should get off here. Christy's waiting on me. She wants to eat some supper. She just got back from a show, Calf Rock Winery. She had a hair clip show that she did there. They've got wine tasting and then vendors and all. And I should probably
Free
go in there
booze,
and eat so
excellent.
that she doesn't think I abandoned her.
All right.
What's that?
Well, I guess what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. I mean, we've been on it for 2 hours and 21 minutes. I really do appreciate all you people coming in, hanging out with us. I'll try to do this every Saturday if I can get people willing to show up. DRs, email me or something. Let me know how you're set. And as long as we can keep it semi-unpolitical or whatever, I'm good to go. I don't want to do the politics on here because I just
Let you do, Matt.
I do not want to do them. Now, we may do that on the other one over there on West.
Yeah,
That's
get
the real
Dawson in a live stream. That'd be cool.
I did not give a crap.
What?
So over here I
Is it
did.
really?
Yes, it's filling our buckets that are all like empty outside.
Wow. Hey. Whoops. Lost sound. What happened here?
We were just waiting to hear what you had going on.
She said, Christy came in and said it's raining outside. I got to go see. I haven't seen rain in so long. I don't remember what it's like. So I'm jumping off. I love all of you. It's good to see everybody. I
See you later.
enjoyed the visit. Abe, especially good to see you, get to talk to you a little bit. Wes, I'll talk to you the next day or two, brother.
Yep, it'll be me and Kiri. So see you.
Sounds good. Love
See
you.
you later, bud.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Anyway, we're gonna
I'll
get out
see you in
of
a
here.
bit, Dawes.
If y'all want to swing over to West Estoril on Tuesday, I do a Bible study and I've been doing an after chat. We can get all crazy on the after chat. Appreciate it if you show up for the Bible study at 7:30 and the after. But
If I can make it at 1:30, you guys can make it at 7:30.
yeah, and but the Bible study, we stay on topic and we don't bash any other religions. It's not how I roll.
Certainly not.
Christ is everybody's king, not just your denominations. So I love all you people. I want y'all to stay alive and not die.
Yeah, take care, guys and girls. Take care.